Good morning, friends. Thank you for coming in today, for those of you who are physically present here, and thank you for tuning in, those who are checking out this video online. Today I'm going to talk to all of you about leadership. Leadership is actually not a choice as we think, it is a necessity. We can be valuable in this society only once we learn how to lead ourselves. If we don't know how to lead or conduct ourselves, then we can be of no value to anybody else. And that's why it becomes extremely important to lead oneself, irrespective of one's interest in leading others. However, in today's world, I think most of us are interested in leading others as well, or being an example for somebody in something. And that's a good thing. To be a leader, you need to have a lot of traits. You need to, first of all, lead by example. You have to create followers. And followers would like to see some traits in a leader. They want their leader to be honest. They want their leader to be, really passionate, to be dedicated, to be capable, to know what is good for everybody, to be a decision maker, and so on and so forth. So it's quite a thing to become a leader. Now, as we spoke earlier, first of all, before we become leaders for others, we need to really learn how to lead ourselves. One of the prerequisites before you can lead yourself is to know yourself. Unless you are aware of yourself, how can you be leading yourself? First, you have to become aware of yourself, and then you have to become the master of yourself to be then able to lead yourself. Now, I would like to explain this with a small example. Now, for example, you become aware that you have a sweet tooth, but that's actually not good for you. Now, that's awareness. Now, to become a master of your senses, now basically, whenever you look at something sweet, the moment your eyes are set on it, your tongue and your mind and your hand, nothing seems to be in your control, and they just go for it. But then later, it only causes harm for your body, and you know it. Now, mastering yourself is when you're learning how to take control of your mind, of your tongue, of your eyes, of your hand. These are your tools, and you should be able to command them and not the other way around. So one of the ways of checking yourself whether you are in control or they are in control of you is to really think, if you have had these days when you really wanted to get up early and start doing something really nice, and you had taken a New Year resolution or something like that, but when the morning came and you wanted to get up from your bed, your mind came up with these amazing excuses to keep you in the bed longer. Yeah? So this is exactly what actually shows us who is in control. So obviously, we all have to really make, at some point, a beginning to master ourselves and lead ourselves. Also, I think you will all agree with me that it is fair for me to assume that all of us, at some point, core level, we are all actually aiming at the same goal in life, and that is happiness. We all want to be happy, and that's natural. However, where we get lost is really what are we going after, thinking that having that will give us happiness. Some of us think it's material abundance, luxury, money, house, car, relationships, and so on and so forth. So we go and spend all our life seeking all these things. But sometimes, unfortunately, after all the life is spent in getting all this, and we do get all of this, we realize that actually we're not happy. In fact, the whole pursuit of going after all these things that we thought will give us happiness has actually taken away our health, our peace of mind, and so many other things that we did not know would be the price of what we are going after. To some extent, we all realize that having abundance of wisdom, of some knowledge, of love in one's life does give happiness to some extent. So we really have to, realize what should we be after. Money and anything acquired by money or anything materialistic, frankly, takes us to a world of illusion or Maya. Everything in that world is fake. People's feelings are fake. What people talk and say is fake. People even fake their own happiness. We end up doing that because we see everybody is faking happiness. We also start faking happiness. And when we keep doing that, we actually start somewhere believing that that's what happiness means, unfortunately. We start wearing a mask because we realize that it's not easy to be yourself, to be truthful in your relationships. So you start wearing a mask, you start saying those things that people want to hear, and at some point we start identifying ourselves so much with the mask we wear that we are kind of scared to remove that mask because we really don't know who we are without that mask. And that's a bit scary, isn't it? But true. So we need to do something about it. And what we need to do really is right in the beginning, when you're starting your life. First, spend a few years to really learn about yourself. That's what life is about. Life is a classroom. Believe me, even if you don't go to any school to get a formal education, life itself is a school that's teaching you everything that you need to know to live your life. Only for your livelihood part, you might want to learn some skill for which you might need to go to some formal school. But frankly, life lessons are taught by life itself. So we have to just live life with more awareness. First know yourself, then know the environment where you live, then know the creator, then know the purpose, and then step into the world to live that life. Once you have this clarity, believe me, you will make the right choices, you will set the right priorities, and that is going to reduce the number of conflicts you have in your life, which ultimately will result in peace and happiness that we all are looking at. Makes sense, isn't it? Now, how do we really start knowing ourselves? Knowing ourselves basically means knowing all the three dimensions of ourselves: physical, mental, and spiritual. Physical relates to the body aspect. Mental, I mean the mind, intellect. And then spiritual, which is at the core of it all, the spirit or the soul. Actually, the spirit is what owns the other two. So it actually comes, spiritual knowledge, spiritual awareness has to come first. And then we will understand a lot about our mental and physical dimensions. Now, how do we really go about it? How to learn about it? Who do we turn to? Where can we get some information about it? Yeah, these are real questions. And believe me, these have real answers. And I'm making a small attempt in the book that I'm writing called Lead Yourself with Conscious Living. I would urge all of you to please book a copy for yourself and start helping yourself in this area. I'm sure you'll thank me one day. It costs only 250 rupees, friends, and I'm sure you'll agree with me that this is a very small amount to pay to start a conscious life, to start a journey of leading yourself. Thank you so much for being here. If you have questions, please write to me. at consciouslivingcenterblr@gmail.com. Center is spelled CENTER. Please remember it always. Very soon our website www.consciouslivingcenter.in will be ready and up there, and you will have access to booking the book and doing a lot of things out there, even asking your questions and getting the answers, and we'll have some interesting webinars. So stay tuned in, friends. Thank you so much. Would love to hear from you. Stay conscious. Stay happy always.